Welcome back, Fantasy Fiction Fanatics. It's great to see you again, and I hope you're doing well. Today we have another book review, and today's book is going to be Temple of No God by H.M. Long. Now, just to put this out there, this is the second book in a series, so there might be potential spoilers for the first book, which is called Hall of Smoke. And so if you haven't read this series at all and you are concerned about spoilers for that first book, this might not be the best video for you. However, I do have a book review video on that first book, Hall of Smoke. I will go ahead and link it for you. I'll put it somewhere around here so that way you can go ahead and jump over to that video instead if you are interested in this series. If you don't care about spoilers, then go ahead and keep watching. Or if you're ready to check out book number 2, then you might be interested in what I have to say on it. Also, if you like this review, go ahead and give me a thumbs up for this video, as well as subscribe if you're not subscribed. That way you can join in on the fantasy fun that we have here as Fantasy Fiction Fanatics and the community that we are building together. So thanks so much for watching and to becoming part of the community. Alright, let's go ahead and jump right into this review. So this book is about Hessa, who is the main character from the first book, and we are now in the world as it is after Thevander has come to life and is back to being the god and Hessa's chosen god that she chooses to follow and is his high priestess. So she is learning how, it's been actually 10 years gap, it's a 10 years gap between these two books, and now she is the leader of her people. She is the high priest for Thevander, and she is trying to navigate this new world with these new gods, and everything is different than how it used to be. But she is making a life and trying to do what is best for her people. Okay, so what did I like and what did I not like for this book? Starting with what I liked, I really liked the writing style. I liked it in the first book, and I really love it here in the second book. H.M. Long has a really great writing style. It's very sophisticated, it's smooth, and it's really easy to read, and yet it has that little bit of sophistication to it, and you really get the details, and you really understand the character. It is excellent. Highly recommend this writing style if writing style is really big for you and reading books. Definitely will be intrigued by her writing and really get a sense of what's happening in the book. The second thing I liked is the characters, both the new ones and the old ones. So all of them are all very sophisticated, all of them have good motivations. Hessa herself as the main character is amazing. I love her. I loved her in book 1, and I love her again in book 2. I really like how she has flaws and she has problems, but she is humble enough to realize this and to try and move forward and to acknowledge when she is wrong or when she is having problems. So really great. She tries to do what's good for all people. She really cares about people, and you can see that she cares about a lot of the people in this book. And with all the other characters, they really do have depth to them. You really get a sense of knowing them. You understand why they make the decisions that they're making. So overall, the characters are excellent. Last, I really like the mythology. Again, this book really revolves around mythology. Really, everything that happens is because of the gods or something going on with the gods, and this book is no exception. And I really like how the gods, or the old gods, the Miri, interact with our regular human characters. I really like the plot line that mythology comes and takes, and I like how the characters are as those gods and goddesses. They're really excellent, and I like the dynamics of the people and mixing with the mythology, especially now that the mythology is all turned upside down and different based on the events of book 1. Now we are under a new mythology, and how that changes things is super interesting. So what do I not like so much about this book? The first thing I don't like quite as much, it's not that it's bad, it's just I prefer the first book better, and that is the plot line. The first one, Hall of Smoke, had a really interesting plot line. You really have a lot of unknowns. You're really trying to figure things out. Hessa is going on this crazy adventure, just trying to stay alive, just trying to figure out what she should or shouldn't do. And it's complex as well as interesting. This one is a little bit more straightforward. It's one goal with one thing in mind. We've got a couple of unknowns for the end, but for most of the time, we're kind of more in a safe space. Hessa is someone who's in power, and she's leading the charge, so to speak. And I just feel like it's a little bit more easy compared to the first book. And I really liked that mystery, that danger, that unknown element, and that complexity of it. And this one is a little bit more of a simpler plot, which was not bad. It just, I liked the first plot better. Second is, if you have not read the first book almost immediately before reading this second book, it's a little bit confusing at the beginning because there is this 10-year time gap, and it's hard to like orient yourself on like, okay, who are we supposed to already know? Who is new? Should we have known that? Like, those are the kind of questions you might ask yourself if you haven't read the first book in a while. And Long does not really tell you in the story like, yes, this is what you should know and this is what you don't know, or this is what's new. So it's a little bit hard to sift through, but then once you get going, it's fine. It's just those first couple chapters where everything is being introduced that makes things a little bit tricky to figure out what you should and shouldn't know or what's going on exactly. So overall, would I recommend this book? Yes, if you liked book one, I definitely recommend trying this one. I think you will still enjoy it. Of course, there are a couple of those weak spots, but overall, it's really excellent. I love Hessa. I love the world that we're set in, and I like the interesting dynamics that go on. So I think there is a lot to like about this book, especially if you liked book one. I do think that it is very necessary that you read book one in order to read book two, though. So again, if you haven't read this book, definitely check out the first one before moving on to this second one. Yeah. All right, I guess that's it for me today. If you guys have read this book or are interested in checking out this book, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.